understand that it's not just me choosing what happens, but like he's trying to put me supine, I can kind of bear this weight, and then I can get to this 1-1 and play this similar type of game. From here, once he unweights this knee, right, he doesn't want to kind of expose his back, especially because if it's on the mat and I have this cross wrist, then either I can really very much bring my head across, and from here, if he tries to resist it another way, I really don't think he can. Or if he takes his head away, there's the back swing. But ultimately, right now we're playing a situation where his knee comes off the mat. I like to bring my own knee to chest to unweight his legs. I think this is going to make our follow-up a lot easier as opposed to if he were to play from here. What we're going to do, depending on where my partner's weight is, if he tries to really drive his weight into me, I think leg entries from here are very appropriate. But especially as we initially unweight the leg, we're presented with a really nice opportunity to wrestle up. What I'm going to look to do is I'm going to extend my right leg, almost like a pendulum, to bring myself from supine to seated, or kneeling actually. Supine and kneeling, where from here I extend my leg. Once I sit up, my heel's going to come to my butt. Where I'm here, I'm trying to get it into that. Okay, I can't extend heel to butt. And from here, I'm able to start looking to get to this double leg situation. The great thing about this is because he's on his knees, he's not going to be as athletic. I'm going to be able to have a much easier time actually putting him to the mat. From here, there are a lot of ways you can look to finish the double. For now, I'm just going to move towards the side we have blocked. And something I really want to focus on, especially for the purpose of trying to keep my partner grounded, is that when I actually look to finish this, especially if you have a partner who's going to really try scramble to get up, focusing on controlling the highest leg. So what's the highest leg? If he's on his left hip, his left leg is his highest leg. Because let's say he's on his left hip, if he wants to stand up, he can stand all the way to his feet if I control his right leg. But if we go switch, and I control his left leg and he's on his left hip, if he stays on his hip, he can't build up to his feet. Obviously, he can switch hips, right? But right now, we understand that as we do this double leg, he's going to be on his left hip. I want to control this highest leg. So I don't want to just try squeeze my arms together and just hold as tight as possible. Because right now, he could just bring his left heel to butt and sit up and try to get back onto his knees, defend the takedown, etc. So what I'm going to look to do is I'm going to snake my left leg down his calf. I want to really try and make a situation where I don't necessarily need locked hands, but I want to make sure his heel doesn't come to his butt. So when he looks to heist up, right, I want to keep this rather far away. And from here, this is when we have a lot of great options, like knee sweeps, stepping over, etc., etc. But I really wanted to emphasize this idea of trying to control this heist leg. Even if we weren't in the same situation, I would focus on trying to make sure he couldn't get this heist leg heel to butt. Because now when I prevent this, he tries to heist up, he builds up. It's really difficult. And we can kind of reinforce this by then going in a half guard and so on to make sure we can pin our partner. So you see here, like if I ask my partner to get up, so long as I'm in good base, I'm interacting with his heist leg, he tries to get up, it's really difficult, right? So this is what we're looking for in terms of actually putting our partner down and actually keeping him there. So once again, we brought his arm across. I obviously don't want to wrestle up when he's an underhook. So after this 1-1, ideally I'm putting weight close to, if not all on his hands. And from here, shoot forward, bring heel to butt, bring it this other way. From here, just put the heel across, and then controlling the partner's leg. I'd recommend have a conversation with your partner from this position. Ask them, okay, can you try and come back to your knees? Like, try to. Okay? Notice now, if I just try squeezing the legs together, he's going to come up back to his knees. Right? Versus if I place a greater emphasis on trying to keep his heel away from his butt, I don't have locked hands, but this is actually going to make it really annoying for him to get up. So, if you get here, like, ask your partner, okay, can you try to get up from here? Give me some resistance. What do you feel like you can do? Right? I think this dialogue is very helpful because you want to prompt them, and then you can actually feel live resistance without like going live, because then you can kind of selectively use it. So right now, just a simple double leg from here. If you feel as though the partner's really crowding you, just go into the single leg X. This is definitely not a bad option at all. Just understand that we're taking what our partner gives us as opposed to like what we are trying to force out of them. That make sense?
Question. So like at that point, right when you come up and you're like wrestling into the single, it almost feels like he has access to like an overback. Is there something that you can do to prevent it from turning into that like cat dog thing? Like right here, if he goes overback on you, is this like a 50-50 position, or do you still have the advantage that you can roll him over?
I think this is definitely better for me because this would be like a kind of
I see.
because I have this arm to the inside of my shoulder and his hip. This should be good for me. And then, I mean, there's not to say he can't do anything from here. There's plenty of things he can look for, like crotch locks would be good, like there's roll throughs he can do. But once we get them to the hook, we control the high side. It should be very much in our favor. So this should be pretty quick and easy.